Hi, this is Becky Malden with Pure Vitality, and this is Emily, and she's going to help me demonstrate how to get rid of a wart naturally. And this works well for any kind of wart, whether it's a planter's wart, a regular type of wart. And what we're going to use is a very common weed that's probably growing outside your yard right now. And rather than spending weeks with doctor's remedies and stuff, this actually will work in days, sometimes even hours. And what we're looking at is a herb called oxalis. Its common name is creeping wood sorrel. And basically it looks a lot like clover, but it has these heart-shaped leaves. And that's the key. You want them to have a heart-shaped. They have a small little yellow flower in the springtime, but they thrive in cool temperatures and damp, shady places. So we found them on like the north side of our house, and it's something that basically will only grow about 6 inches high. Usually they're even shorter than that. So keep an eye out in your yard, but the key is to identify them properly. So you want a book like this, which is Tori Peterson's Medicinal Plant Guide. And basically it's nice because it has line drawings, which you really want to identify plants correctly using a line drawing rather than a photograph. And basically it tells where it's found, what it's good for. But creeping wood sorrel, oxalis corniculata is its Latin name. And that's what we're going to show you how to use right now. Alright, so what you do is you get the wood sorrel, and you're using mainly the leaves and the small stems, not the really thick stems. And you're going to want to use a mortar and pestle. That's what this is. And you're going to need to crush up the herb so that it's moist and juicy. That's what we need, is basically the herb pulp. So you put these in the mortar and pestle. And this is nice because it allows you to grind up small amounts of herb. You can't really do this in the food processor very well. So you kind of pound it, grind it, mix it up so that it's truly got the herb pulp. And you want it to be nice and wet. If it's not moist,
smells good.
It smells good. Oh yeah, this is also edible, which Emily loves to go outside and forage for wild wood sorrel, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's it taste like?
Sour. Good.
Sour, kind of like lemon?
Sort of.
Alright, so here we have our green herb pulp. And I need the pretend wart, which is right here on her hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically take this wet herb pulp and cover the entire wart with it. Make it nice and saturated and covered up. And then what you're going to do is you want it to be airtight. So what I use to do that is a tiny little piece of like plastic wrap or some type of plastic. You want to cover it up all the way. And then you want to keep it airtight. So I use this surgical tape. You could use a Band-Aid, but this works really, really well. And you just tape all the sides. And you basically want to leave this on overnight if it's a really severe like planter's wart. I've had a client have a serious planter's wart, and we left it on for 45 minutes just while she was in the office, and that thing fell out like after just 45 minutes. I mean, it literally came off that next day. Alright, so you want to tape it all up and let it have plenty of time to kind of incubate. And what happens is the acid in the oxalis will break down the wart, and literally it can just fall out. And I use this myself on a planter's wart on my foot, on the bottom of my foot, when I was about her age, and it took 2 applications. My parents did it one night. I left it on all night, just like this, and then they reapplied the poultice. They took it off that day, reapplied it the next day, and the second time my mom took that bandage off, that thing just fell out of my foot. And I think I was more shocked than anyone, because when you're young and the thought of going to the doctor and getting those things cut out is horrifying. So for my mom to be able to just use herbs, I mean, this is like herbal surgery. So it was amazing. And so it's a very common plant that grows like kind of like dandelions. It's most places. So keep an eye out for it, but it grows really well this time of year. So I wanted you to know something you could go out into your yard, find something that's free, that doesn't cost you anything, that you can use and be able to get rid of warts naturally. So if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments below, And I'm happy to answer any questions you have about this, but it works beautifully. So check out my website at getpurevitality.com, and I look forward to seeing you next time.